And welcome back to Starsector. It's the good Dr. Bleak here for another episode. Alright, so, last time we fought off the space police because they came to raid us for being a haven of crime and drugs, which wasn't wholly inaccurate, but was very overblown, and I insist we were in the right to resist. Today, I have plans. I'm going to set about setting up more colonies, because we're at the point where the main ones are actually fairly self-sufficient. But to do that, we need money. And money, we can get through violence. I've got us laid in for a Ludic path base that we're going to go blow up. From the look of it, should be pretty straightforward. Our fleet can definitely handle it. After that, I've already got another one lined up, a pirate base bounty. I'll go ahead and meet you when we get there. Alright, we're arriving in the star system where this base is supposed to be. Huh, looks like a fair bit of derelict equipment out here. I've gone ahead and turned off our transponder so we'll be able to dock with the station and see about buying some stuff. Particulars, supplies, fuel, and marines. We'll launch a raid against the station, steal even more supplies. And engage the battle station. Now as it stands, I have quite a bit in the way of plans. We do need to get colonizing a couple of other systems because we do have need for more industrial capacity, and I did find several very good planets. But we also need to deal with Tritachyon being up our metaphorical ass. With the trade rating, yeah, I don't need them disrupting trade and costing me money. So, we do have to deal with that. Means we're going to have to go raid Tritachyon right back. Make their lives harder until they decide that it's easier to work with me than against me. Shouldn't be all that hard, but it is going to take a lot of marines and a lot of time. Nice and straightforward. Not a thing they can do to realistically stop us. Laisa destroying people. I love that fox and her talent for death and destruction. As is the usual, our capitals are very much a match for the space station. We've already taken one of the armor plates off the combat section. And it looks like we'll have no trouble taking the rest of it out as well, at least from the way things are going right now. It'd be real nice if they could get rid of this spur. I really do not like having the big ones in play for terribly long. There we go, giant hole blown in the armor. And a couple Tachyon Lances finishes the job. Good work. Another section down and just the combat one left. As lost the armor plates taken care of, now they have to take it all on the chin or the shields. All 4 barrels at once. Nicely done. And that's that. Another space station blown up. Grab our loot. And there's nothing really to scan in this system. Just a bunch of broken Luddites. Oh well. Break this array for salvage. Nothing I really need from those ships. So let's see, what else do we have for the bounties? Pirate base? Yeah, we'll go in for that. Might as well. Now part of this is also me wanting to push down the amount of Luddic and pirate activity out in the fringes because that's where my colonies are. And if I eliminate enough of their bases, I'm pretty sure it slows them down. Even if not, it's profitable, so no complaints from me. Let's see, Gamma Kenosis. We've been here before. We've blown up a pirate base here before. Ugh. Yeah, I'm willing to bet the pirates are here specifically to try and rob the Brighton Federation. It would make sense. I mean, Gamma Kenosis is right next to Delta Kenosis, where Brighton has a colony world. Well, regardless, I guess we'll make some friends. Ah, that's where you're hiding. Let's see. Pick up more supplies, more fuel, more marines. We'll launch a raid, grab even more supplies. Dang, we're near full up. Oh, we have a whole bunch of metals. We'll have to stop somewhere and sell that off. And engage the station. Same loadout as before, Auroras, Furies, and the Paragons. With the Falcon attached to the Paragons, providing its movement speed bonus. Another pirate base eliminated, another couple 100,000 credits in the bank, and the hegemony likes us a little more, which, I mean, fair, not the biggest deal in the world. Let's see. Now, I did spot while I was looking at things that EcoPress is offering a decent price for metals, and we have need to get rid of a bunch of metals, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. And while we're there, we can talk with Ryan Arroyo, see if he needs anything done. Alright, here we are. Let's see, yep, 25 a unit. 100,000 credits, not bad at all. Let's see, it looks like there's 2 places that need heavy machinery in system too, so we'll take care of that. Let me see. Sell off a bunch of assorted junk that we don't need. Ryan Arroyo. Oh, hey. Do you want to buy some Vulpoids? You begin a sales pitch, but Arroyo cuts you off with a gold-ringed finger. Rest assured, I'm well aware of them already. Got a servant for myself, actually. It'll need some training, but I've been quite satisfied. Have you considered a bulk purchase? You mean as employees? Sorry, corporation non-compete on that front. The only AIs I'm allowed to employ commercially are Tritachyon-branded ones. He barks out a laugh. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be an issue. He looks you up and down for a moment before continuing. Look, you're not going to get much success selling those to the company, but just between you and me, keep doing what you're doing. We've got your back on this one. Do you, though? Arroyo sighs. What, you read a tabloid article where some junior exec bashed them? You know most people see us as the bad guys, right? Fire your PR team and get a better one. Actually, let me know if you really do, I'll set you up. But here's a dead easy angle for you to spin. Tritachyon hates them, so they must be good. Now where was I? Look, 2 wars, and where have they gotten us? AI is more illegal than ever before, and at least half the sector is convinced that they're psychotic killing machines. And then you blunder in. I'm just gonna let him talk. You end up on Nomios at exactly the right time to run into the one guy in the entire sector who knew that ship was out there. You beat down an Ordo to get it, you convinced a beta-level intelligence to hand over the keys to the kingdom, and then you decided to use the Treaty of Cromcrutch as an air filter by making an AI factory. And you're getting away with it. He raises an eyebrow at you. I did tell you I was well aware of them, didn't I? I believe you were coming to a point? Right, Arroyo shakes his head. Point is, you somehow stumbled onto an AI that's practically impossible to dislike. Marketing figures it's a golden opportunity to shift the public image of AI into something more positive. The more people like your Vulpoids, the more they'll press the hegemony to make allowances. He leans back, wearing a smug grin. Allowances we then get to leverage for our own AIs. Oh, I see. Clever. No, not really. You know what I've told you, but I'm barely even in the loop for this one, not my department. He holds his palms up. Like I said earlier, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, you're getting some heat, but legal's keeping the big dogs on a leash for you. And if you pull this off, well... He looks away for a moment, no doubt at a splendid view. I figure we'll both be ending up on top. Now, was there anything else you wanted, or were you just trying to sell me something? Well, do you have any work for me? Let's see, bounties, 520,000 credits. Huh. Well, that's a new one. Suleiman-class magnificent cruiser. Graceful and elegant, the Suleiman is a very fast ship with a solid mix of ballistics and energy armaments and very good flux stats. However, the above-average combat performance comes with notorious supply costs and undermined long-term combat ability due to the discontinuity between different technologies. That's a mod chip, that one's for sure. Well, I'll take that. I think I can definitely handle that one. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think I need them to make anything for me right now. Let's get going. Oh, and it's a system we haven't surveyed. Maybe I'll get lucky and the remnants will take them out for me. Oh, incidentally. Well, we're here. Install a comm sniffer there. Head to Kulon, military options. Damn. Well, we can't very well raid the place when they have their full defenses up, so I can't do that. We'll have to find an easier target to hit on that one. Damn shame, too. I would have really preferred to be able to handle that. We'll get out of here for the moment. We'll jump back in over here. They have no reason to think it's the same person. Ha. Sell 300 units of heavy machinery to the Independents on Kathleen while we have the chance. A frozen world of ammonia rivers, plateaus of water ice, and methane glaciers. Charged particles caught in Baylor's magnetic field create fantastic auroras in the thin atmosphere of Kathleen. Seasonally occupied organics extraction rigs are served by the sole permanent settlement of Kathleen, a city built upon a unique arc of erratic rocky promontories. Hey Laisa, any thoughts?
Kathleen? Honestly, I forget it exists sometimes. It's got what? One city and a couple mining rings? And some pretty auroras, I suppose.
Well, that's fair. It is kind of an empty planet. Alright, arriving at Gamma Nysa, and yep, there's that hunter that we're looking for. Let's get him. Oh wow, won't even talk to me. Dang. I mean, that's just rude. Now this one I'm taking completely seriously. Bounty hunters are no joke in this game. They do this as a profession. So, given they tend to have heavily modified ships, we're gonna keep ourselves together and focus on ensuring that firepower is concentrated rather than spreading out, at least for the start. Capture a couple of control points so we can bring in even more firepower. Come on, come on, come on. Well, I guess there's already so much in play that really doesn't change anything. Oh well. Laisa's gonna have to pull back a bit. Avoid getting blown out of the sky. That apogee. Laisa's far enough back I can cancel the order to retreat. How's the Hyperion doing over here? Oh, actually surprisingly good. Oh. Dang. The guy we're looking for, and we nearly take him out in one shot. Really thought that'd be the harder part. Oh well. How's the other Paragon doing? Pretty good, pretty good. Flux is being pushed up a little bit, but we can do something about that. Ah, dang, we lost a Fury. Hold on, what can we bring in? The Pardon and the Omen. That seems like a good pairing for the moment. We'll have them focus on the Centurion. Come on, get in there. Looks like we got the Suleiman. That's a good start. Dang it, they took out the Pardon. I know the Pardon's not the toughest ship, but still, I expect better. You guys are gonna take out that Hammerhead that is doing shockingly well. With most of the fleet destroyed, we can go ahead and let everyone off the leash. And there go your main weapons. I'll give this guy credit. He's smart enough to avoid letting his rear end get hit and take out his engines. We'll see if they can take him out before he gets away. Yep, there he goes. Alright, let me see. So Bounty Hunter, fleet mostly eliminated, took out 6 out of 10 ships, lost 2 of our own. Ah, yes, I want this. I want to experiment with the magnificent cruiser. And... oh. Looks like the gentleman in the Eagle is the one that we were actually after. Well, we'll be able to catch up to him in a moment. Move in. Okay, we need to be nimble, we need to be fast on our feet. We need to rip these guys a new one. The Furies are beaten to hell, so I'm not going to put them back in. At least not yet. But I do have the Bedlam class. Okay, I'm increasingly not a fan of the Bedlam, but I don't know if that's because it's not great or if that's because I've kitted it out wrong. Both are possible. It does seem to deprioritize its energy weapons, which is not something I like, but that might be me having set it up wrong. And only thing that's left is a Tempest, and we really don't need that. Get back our wolves, because they obviously got blown up in the fighting. And got our bounty. Nothing else in this system to see, so no need there. Alright, so what's up next? Got a couple more bounties. Nothing worth taking that's more than 30 days left. Oh, we picked something up but never ended up returning it to Galactia. I'll go ahead and take care of that. Get ourselves a little boost using these slipstreams. Gotta love that reverse polarity ability, traveling upstream instead of down and being able to take advantage of the speed boost. Well worth it, every time. Gosh, it is so pretty in hyperspace too. Let's see, we're sitting at nearly 2 million credits, so sooner than later we can go ahead and start moving on my next big objective. Makes sense to take care of this while we're here, though. Alright, Galactia Academy. Let's see what Sebastian's got for us. Sebastian points excitedly at a datapad in his hand. Captain, I've just got word from logistics that your crew has delivered the fascinating low-power field projector, intact. They're going to be so excited in applied anorthic geometry. They never expected to get it back. Well, that's a word and a half right there. Let's see. Inquire about jobs. Okay, imprisoned researcher. Knights of Lud. Oh, and they're on Khufu, that planet that got settled not too far out of my borders. And VIP transport. Let's see, gotta bring a student to Moraith, and oh, it's the son of Semurania. You know, the administrator of Moraith, the same one we sold those Vulpoids to? Small sector. Oh, that's some quick cash. Let's see. The VIP one is on a timer, so we'll head that general direction first. Nice. Nearly 100,000 credits in profit. What's all this? Oh, pirates! Let me see. Wasn't there... Oh, yeah, here, over on the bounties. Galactia is currently under a bounty from two different groups, the Independence and the Hegemony, so every one of these pirate ships we destroy, we'll get a double bounty for. Let's see... 4 pirate attack fleets. This is gonna be fun. I love not having to feel bad about this. Because, you know, if anyone deserves it, it is the pirates. Well, the Shade's gotta come out of hiding at some point. And Laisa's in the perfect position to just annihilate him. Ooh. Shrike coming in. Very brave, very stupid. Yeah, that decision doesn't seem so grand now, does it? That's my favorite fox. Just annihilating people from the sector. Look at her go. Like, it's not even difficult. What's the flux? Not even half, and it's all soft flux. So all she's got to do is sit there and it'll go away on its own. As for the other one, plasma cannon's doing good work. It's amazing how they cut through fighters so easily. And there's a mule taken care of. Man, I might not even have to do anything. They are just wiping people out. Now that being said, these guys do have a lot of fighters, which could prove to be a problem. We don't want to get overwhelmed. What's going on over here? Oh, the fancy Aurora is just taking out small ships. Oh, that fits. And adventure, learning why it was a mistake to come out here. Oh. Switching targets, I see. Now, the Paragon under AI control does prioritize whatever happens to be closest of cruiser or above size. So, they do have a tendency to switch targets. It's important to keep an eye on that. Too much target switching and the Fury's gotten surrounded. Ah well. It was gonna happen to someone, but I'm sure they'll be able to make it out. Hopefully, maybe. Nope, never mind. I was mistaken. Laisa's flux is getting a little bit high there. Not untenable, but concerning. Let's see, I should bring in something else too. What do I have? Oh, yeah, that'll work. Gonna have the Omen and the Medusa circle around and start taking out some of these small ships, since they seem to be working to surround the bigger ones. Get him! Get him! Laisa, how you doing? Doesn't look like you're having any major troubles. Flux is high, but you seem to be handling it. Tiny little sliver of hull damage, though, something to keep an eye on. Okay. Never mind. You guys aren't going to work on the wolf, you're going to work on the hound. Where's Laisa? Oh, you pulled back to vent flux. Smart fox. As expected. And another condor down. We'll call that a win. Claim victory, lost 60 crew, got 52 of them back. And we'll recover the Fury. Well, dang, that's a lot of pirate ships destroyed. A couple 100,000 credits. And some decent supplies. Making the sector a safer place, one dead pirate at a time. It's amusing to think there's a good chance we just solved Galactia's pirate problem entirely single-handed. Really showing those local security forces how it's done. Though, then again, we are a bit of an oddity out here, being that we're, bizarrely capable. We are going to need to pick up more supplies, though. All those repairs are definitely taking some work. Port C franchise station is here. I sense an opportunity. On Moraith, they've been expecting us. Upon entering the traffic-controlled volume of the planet, you receive an incoming comms transmission from the offices of Sim Urania. You arrange a drop-off point for her son. Before stepping off the transport, the young student turns back toward you and speaks. Great, it's another rude one. But 88,000 credits for us. Let's see. More supplies, more fuel. Is there anything they're short of? Not at the moment. Nothing I have, anyway. Let's see. You can sell off a bunch of these weapons. Oh, and it looks like there's a big shortage of metals in Asconia. We'll go ahead and take care of that. Let's see, they have a population of Vulpoids and, yep, the Rangers, just like we expected. Oh dang, that's actually pretty good. Drops the hazard rating 12.5%. Hazard rating still 113%, but, you know, could be a lot worse. Well, we're here. Go over this direction. We'll turn off our transponder and head to the Port C franchise station to make a mess. Consider military options, launch a raid. We'll try to disrupt industries. And launch the raid. Excellent. Did not besmirch our good name, but pushed the Tritachyon commerce rating up a good 80 points. Not too long we'll have to deal with bounties getting posted, but I think it'll be worth it. What's next? Let's go to the Western East system. We need to talk to someone at Fickenhild anyway. Okay, let's see. The system of Western East is traditionally ruled by a popularly elected king, whose holding of court, handling of certain primary executive and judicial functions, is broadcast in the local system as entertainment. It is considered essential that the king of Western East be wise, just, and above all, entertaining. Most potential excesses of the system are constrained by a culture of alternatively raucous and sentimental audience participation segments. The king is powerful, yes, but the hearts of the people are mercurial and may be moved against the king by a sufficiently compelling counter-narrative. Let's see. A couple different options. First off, we'll head to the surface and pursue the list of Caruso's known associates. Descending through pillars of storm cloud over sparkling seas, your shuttle glides toward K. Arco, the cosmopolitan megapolis acrology of Fickenhild. Dampers dull the shock of atmospheric entry to a whisper as you review Baird's list of Caruso's contacts. Starting with the first entry, Adonia Caruz is noted as a surviving parent and lives at a pensioner's quarters. It seems reasonable to start with her. You stand for a moment at the transport hub considering your options. Well, let's go see her. You stand for a moment taking in the bewildering signage of the K. Arco transport matrix before you shrug and allow your tripad to select the best route to the home of Adonia Caruz. Cyclopean arcology substructure flashes by as you ride the primary ring tube to a far segment of the Metroplex. A small passenger lift fills with the smell of sweat and machine oil of a shift of undersea laborers returning home. Glimpses of the tower arms of K. Arco flash by, glittering with thousands of windows. You find yourself guided through the heart of a residential stack, through a quiet plaza filled with retirees and well-tended foliage. Then before you is the door of Adonia Caruz. You press the door chime and barely get out your excuse for the visit before being invited in. Adonia is more than pleased to have a visitor and, despite your protests, has a cup of tea cooling in your hand before you quite know what's happening. You have only to bring up her daughter to get Adonia talking. The girl is too clever for her own good, just like her father. Adonia shakes her head at an old memory, but speaks of Skyla with pride. The man who visited last time said that was all the questions they had. Didn't they find anything? But look at you! She admires your uniform. Are you also from Fleet? You manage to avoid answering that question. Adonia has a hollow feed of the King of Westernese holding court set to half volume, and switches effortlessly between commenting on the proceedings and questioning you about personal matters. You hedge on your precise age, admit to operating a space fleet, and leave your marital status vague. She doesn't seem to mind your non-answers. Finally, you get the chance to ask a question of your own. Do you happen to know where I can find Skyla? You wait for a lull in the noise and ask your question a little louder than intended. Adonia gives you a corrective look before turning back to her holovid. The King of Westernese is haranguing a panel of Aquanamis. It's political, isn't it? She says after a moment. Skyla finally found real trouble. I always told her that cabin boy was bad news, but she'd say it was just art stuff. I may be her mother, but I'm not stupid. She gestures intensely at the holovid, a splash of tea exiting her cup. That's a capering twit if ever there was one, but at least no one is dying in some fool street fight. She sighs. If only Skyla had settled down with Laisa. You could be content making a ripple instead of an ocean. I told her father that once. He had the sense to listen. Well, who is Laisa? Ah, Adanya looks rather pleased now. You fancy spies with your titles and gadgets didn't figure her out? She laughs. And now you've got to ask an old woman for help. Oh, don't worry, she says, setting her tea down. I'll tell you, Captain. Eliza Zoll. Such a nice girl. Could have been the best thing that ever happened to Skyla, but, she shakes her head, an offer from the Galactia Academy came first. Full scholarship from the office of the Provost. Sakar was thrilled. His little scientist got the chance he never had. She trails off with a sad look. Do you have a comms ID for Eliza Zoll by any chance? Oh, let me think, Adanya says. No, it's been so many years, she gives you a sly smile. But we could ask. Try home, she says loudly. An expectant chime sounds from the HoloVid entertainment system as the king of Westernese is muted. Comms ID for Eliza Zoll, please. Searching, says the try-home within a pause. No Eliza Zoll found in local system. Adonia looks disappointed and mutters, stupid thing. She looks at you again. Do you need more tea, dear? It feels about like the time you should leave, though you surreptitiously add the name Eliza Zoll to your list of persons of interest. Let's get out of here before she starts trying to set us up with one of her friends. Having completed what you came here for, you make your apologies to Adonia Carews as you move to leave, assuring her that you will find Scylla and see that she is safe, and yes, you will absolutely comms if any new information comes up. The door softly closes behind you, leaving your ears free of the HoloVid's incessant murmur and the endless probing questions of Adonia. Reaching for your datapad, you discover that you're still holding a cup of cold tea. You carefully set it at the front door before leaving. Oh, that's cute. You review Baird's list of Caruso's associates on Fickenhild. Bjorn Lada is tagged as childhood friend and lives in an exurb community. Perhaps she knows something more of Skyla Caruso's personal connections from her early life. At the very least, any other agent following similar leads would had to have contacted by Bjorn. You stand for a moment at the transport hub. Well, let's have a visit with this one. You take a transport line outbound to the K-Arco exurbs, a sprawling network of floating municipalities jostling in the sea at the base of the mighty half-submerged arcology. The monorail track gleams in the sunlight, a straight line toward the horizon, like a hardpoint-mounted particle lance shot through a nebula. The train breaks through a cloud bank, and you feel the subtle pull of deceleration fighting with the A-grav field effect as you approach your target, a modular suburban conglomeration. You glance at your tripad to recall the name of the place, Seabank Oasis. You buzz at the doorway to one of the outer compounds, the green hint of lawn showing through the translucent vitreous strip at the top of the wall. After a short delay, a comms plate activates and a tired-looking woman appears in holo. You ask if you are speaking to Bjorn Lada, and would she mind answering some questions about Skyla Carews. She looks behind her, then lowers her voice to reply, Yes. Didn't someone already come by to ask about her? I haven't seen Skyla in years, like I said. Look, I don't have much time for this. Could you tell me about Skyla herself? Okay, like I said, I don't know what she got mixed up with. When I knew Sai, she worked hard. Good grades, no, great grades. Unless she thought the teacher was wrong, and then, Bjorn smiles now, she wouldn't stand down. And I don't know, she was pretty serious with Eliza Zoll. Like I told the other agent, something happened, I don't know what. She hung out in the lower city more with that Cavan guy. Got into all kinds of trouble, then you hear the thin wail of an infant from both the comms plate and over the compound wall. I really have to go now. Goodbye, agent, whatever your name is. The comms plate clicks off, replacing Bjorn's face with the dancing Seabank Oasis mascot, which reminds you that unregistered guests will be asked to leave the exurb at the end of the work shift. You turn back towards the monorail line, sub-vocalizing an update on your mission log. A fog bank rolls in, dimming the bright sun. Let's head back. One more person, Cavan Farrow. He's got a file attached about an event at some kind of art co-op operated by Undercity radicals. He seems like the sort that is used to hiding from the authorities. Maybe he, or someone he knows, is helping Carews. You scroll through some hollows of what passes for our work in Cavan's association, and judging by the content, you feel the local Munisec probably has Cavan on a list. You stand for a moment at the transport hub. Well, let's head down. And I mean down literally. The transit lift descends into the subsurface districts of K-Arco. The air thickens with mildew and century-old machine lubricant. You pass through structural tunnels filled with cheap tenements, grey market retailers, and fringe ideologies. Your tripod directions lead you to an address where Cavan Pharaoh held what the event notice called a militant conscious happening. Along an anonymous stretch of shuttered depot fronts, you discover a secure door flanked by decaying polymer agitation prints. Chemmed out sleepers lie in the entryway. It feels like the right place. The damaged comms plate by the door speaks with a crackle. You Millisec? No, we do not consent to a search. Not without... Then some muffled words and a second voice interrupts. Shut up, I'll handle it. Hidden bolts withdraw and a man steps out. He's put on a sour scowl for you and is dressed in a mix of dirt cider approximation of spacer gear, mixed with the accoutrement of some local counterculture fashion. He pulls the door closed and then, with a lowered voice, says, Ignore that. Is she in more trouble? This about the whole Galactia thing, isn't it? I assume you're Cavan Pharaoh? Yeah, obviously, he looks you over. You're not Munisec or Fleet. You a merc? Or some kind of spy? Your friend was already sniffing around here. We told him to go like boots on Kaiseron. Cavan crosses his arms impatiently and looks off down the Arco tube, making every effort to show that he doesn't want to talk. Well, I want to help Skyla. Do you know where she is? Cavan raises his chin, defiant. I'd like to believe that. I told Skyla she couldn't sell out to the Galactic Academy without making compromises. He says the word like it's a curse. They'd either get in her head or... His jaw clenches. He takes a breath, looks down, then continues quietly. She thought she was onto something bigger than all of us, you know. Change the world, get us out of a closing trap. The Persean sector, I mean. And all the wars and ruin. I don't know if I believe it, but if anyone could come up with something, I don't know what, it'd be Skyla. I gotta go. You shouldn't be talking to me. If anyone knows where she is, maybe it's Laisa. He looks around, then puts his body between you and the comms plate, and holds out a knockoff datapad displaying a comms ID glyph. He stays silent, but his look is almost pleading. You quickly scan the glyph with your tripod, which makes a satisfied chime. Received comms ID for Eliza Zoll. It's not my place to say, but Eliza might know something. Ask her... Just don't come back here. Calvin slaps the comms plate, unlatching the door bolts. He turns back to you for a moment, but thinks better of it and disappears into the structure. Well, you know, that actually makes a lot of sense. If Skyla had any dealings with a counterculture movement, the fact that she got into something big has probably drawn some attention. You turn from the dismal portico, considering your last option. Eliza Zoll was the closest to Skyla, it seems, and has made herself very hard to find. It's time to make a call. Your bodyguard silently taking flanking positions 4 meters behind you, one to each side, as you walk back through the moldering undercity toward the civic lift. Looks like we've cleared all the best possible hits, so we can head back to our ship. There's also something else here. Contact a Hollow Entertainment Studio. After a short wait watching trailers for upcoming shows, you're contacted with a representative from one of Fickenhild's studios. Thank you for calling. How may I help you today? Oh, this is a Vulpoids thing. Let's offer to give them some Vulpoids. You explain that you're the primary manufacturer of Vulpoids in the Persean sector, and start explaining their potential usage in the hollow entertainment industry. The representative nods along as you report on their trainability, skill at public speaking, and customizable fur palettes. You make an excellent offer. We'd be happy to secure an exclusive contract for their use in local media productions. If you can provide 1,000 units up front, we'd be willing to offer 200,000 credits. I don't have 1,000 units, but we might be able to negotiate a better deal. You declare that a once-off transfer of cargo and credits would not be reflective of the kind of partnership you're trying to achieve. Why, if you'd wanted something impersonal, you could have easily gone to one of the other studios. The representative nods along and eventually speaks up. Of course, my apologies for the impersonal offer. We'd be delighted to sign on a one-cycle production contract starting within 4 months. 3 units of Vulpoids with a premium fee of 90,000 credits per month, totaling 108,000 credits? Agreed. And this way I don't have to worry about bringing 1,000 of them here all at once. Vulpoid acceptance goes up by 100, given that there's now Vulpoid celebrities making the rounds from Fickenhild. Excellent. And anti-Vulpoid sanctions have been lifted in some places due to the public protests. Excellent. Okay. Oh, yes. And open the comm directory, Laisa Zal. You transmit the comms ID and wait for the system to establish a connection. The line opens only begrudgingly after several frame resets as several automated forwarding services connect and encrypt protocol settings. James Bleak, Zal says when the feed finally stabilizes, Cavan told me to expect you. Her speech and video are out of sync and patchy. You wonder if she's even in the local volume of Fickenhild, or if she's got some kind of jury-rigged hyperwave comm setup, or if this is some kind of generated persona. You have a very interesting comm system. Do you like it? Zal smiles, and begins speaking before the image catches up. It's one of my little projects. Am I talking to a human or a simulated persona? What are you, a philosopher? The image of Zal rolls her eyes at you. You're talking to me, aren't you? Is that not enough? She holds up a finger. You'll get no details from me. It's important to practice good InfoSec, you know? Speaking of bad InfoSec, Cavan Farrow, he trusted you for some reason. Her desynced image appears to study you. I don't see why. Because I'm not working from Unisec or Fleet? I think it's because of what I see in you as well. Zal rubs her chin as if contemplating. I think Cavan saw disruption. Not chaos exactly, but change, yeah. The image of Zal flickers slightly. Captain, I've decided I will help you. Now, I did make a promise to Skyla, so let's just say if I were you, I'd follow the path of Leonis. Warlord Leonis, you mean? Her image smiles mysteriously. I didn't say it. Okay. So it's the Ashira system we want. Oh, one more thing. When you find her, be sure to bring her a block of Sub-K brand Alamang. Make sure it's Blue Bar, the good stuff. You can only really get it on Fickenhild. She says everything else belongs in a recycling tank. Ishra's system and a block of krill paste, that's all I get? Yep. Her image smiles, delighted to give you such a poor answer. Look, she doesn't tell me her exact location, and besides, it changes. I just make sure she can get a signal out of the system for... Well, that's for Sai to tell you, if she wants. Good luck sowing chaos, Captain. The image of Elisa Zal flickers and degenerates into a mosaic of corrupted compression algorithm artifacts. Well, that's more than I had. You disconnect the comms, wondering at what exactly is going on, with what seems to be an unofficial hyperwave comm relay. Any answers, it seems, are to be found in the Ashara system, and before you forget, you ping your quartermaster with instructions to pick up a block of this special krill paste. Fair enough. If it works, it works. Let's see, get some of that, get some of that. Vulpoid celebrities. Vulpoids have pretty voices, a beautiful appearance, and a sincere willingness to be underpaid and exploited just for a chance to entertain humans. In short, they're perfect for the hollow media industry. Featuring Vulpoids in cinemas, music, fashion, advertisement, and more will significantly bolster consumerism. Immigration and income will be increased, but so will demand for commercial goods. Well, there's that to look forward to, I guess. Let's see, was that shortage still going on? Yep. We'll head for Volturn and drop off these metals before we continue on. Alright, let's see. You take a shuttle down to the main concourse and quickly find a likely-looking establishment. As always. Off-duty laborers drink away their ration credits dutifully at benches set dressed beneath diktat insignia. In one corner, a cadre of finely dressed official bureaucrats calls for another round. Even here, a larger-than-life hollow of the Lion of Sindria looks down on you as you decide what to do. As you take in the clientele, the light flickers. The sundry hollows and screens fuzz and go blank as EM interference scrambles their input. With a series of bangs, troopers in light combat frames burst through every entrance, shouting amplified orders, waving vicious little guns. Random insect raid. You know enough to appear calm and keep your hands away from your sidearm. Each patron is scanned, and in turn their fate is revealed by a subtle movement of the lead insect officer, signaling whether they are to be left alone or arrested. Most are spared. Keep cool. One group of spacers appears to believe they have something to hide. As the officer approaches, they break into action. One manages to half-draw a concealed weapon but is hit with a crack of an electro-stun restraint foam round. The convulsing body crashes through a table, sending pieces of broken glass up in a glittering parabola. The rest of the party are restrained and beaten, the drumming of clubs on flesh eventually overtaking the cries of pain and outrage. Outsiders look on in horror. The staff and locals have a glazed, unfocused expression. It's safest to see nothing. Yeah, we'll follow the usual. The Dictat internal security officer walks slowly on a tangent to you, examining each of your bodyguards from their feet to their weapons before shifting his gaze to you. You stare for a moment into dark eyes. "Thank you for your service, sir." He responds with an automatic phrase. The movement is its own reward. If not with warmth, then at least with the comfort that his internal IFF has slotted you into a non-hostile category. The insect officer gives a small nod to the guards, then moves on with arbitrary authority to the next spacer captain, who is given a similar treatment. Apparently this means you're free to go. There will be no more business to be done at this bar for the rest of the shift. Even the corridors outside are strangely quiet, the populace recognizing the tell of a crackdown. Well, didn't get disappeared, so that's good. Didn't actually mean to go to the bar. Meant to go down to trade, but it looks like, yeah, with the Ludic Shrine here, it bumped that down one number key. Let's see. And shortage. Good price. Good price. Okay. Let's see. Anything we need? Well, I still haven't sold the last batch of lobster, so I don't need that. I should really get on that. It's been busy. Okay. That done. How am I looking on fuel? Just over half full. I don't need to stop. Dang, war going on here. Lots of derelict ships. Oh well, not my business. Oh, actually, while we're at it, I believe I have stuff to pick up at Prism. Dang it. So may as well stop off here, grab whatever it is we left in storage, because I know we're getting charged like 100 credits a month for that. It's not a lot, but it's annoying. Let's see. Trade goods. Storage. Yeah, I purchased a Tachyon Lance ages ago. Storage. And left a prognosticator here. While we're at it. Nothing of interest there, and Midnight Dissonant, what are you up to? James Bleak, back, welcome. Wishes to fulfill any? Do you have any work for me? Oh, okay, I need to come back about that later. Over here. Pick up a little bit of fuel, a little bit of supplies. Dang, there's Vulpoids here too. They really are everywhere. Oh, shoot. Oh, let's see, a privateer. Captain James Bleak, the mercenary captain speaks flatly, hands steepled before her. You have information which my employer would like you to share with them. Exclusively. She waits, perfectly content to let the silence grow. Okay, what information is that? I think you know perfectly well. You came here to find something. A small smile. Or someone. You appear to be traveling with purposeful intent after investigation activity at your last stop. My employer believes that you found what you were looking for, and would like you to share that information under exclusivity terms. Who exactly is your employer? My employer, the merc crosses her arms, who is interested in exclusive access to your information, who also has a passion for discretion, so you need not worry about your reputation if you sold out your own employer. She considers. Much? Yeah, not interested. After your reply, the mercenary sits unmoving for a full 10 seconds. Then she closes her eyes and nods her head. I see. The merc opens her eyes again and looks at you, unblinking. How disappointing. Good shift, Captain. Wait, that's it? You're just gonna leave? That's it, she says, then pauses, unblinking. Until next time, Captain, the mercenary says flatly. She sets the comm link on you. Static devolves into black. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Bit weird. Usually they don't just leave. Alright, arrived in the Ashira star system, and we actually have things to talk about on this one. See, Warlord Leonis got mentioned, and it makes sense to talk about his history now. This system is where most of his story, at least the parts we know, took place. So, it was Cycle 47, just under half a century after the gates suddenly turned off. This guy named Leonis manages to acquire enough power to take a significant amount of territory for himself in this system. Now, we don't know the details of his other conquests if there were any, but here in this system, he took the Laisa habitat, the Captain Starworks, and Groombridge. And after he took them, he put his lieutenants in charge. And, well, it didn't go so well. Now, following that, another pirate king got backing from the fleet on Kaizeron under Persean League control, and during a border conflict with the Ludic Church, the Persean League used him to come in and take the Laisa habitat back from Warlord Leonis' lieutenant. As a direct result, they fast-tracked legitimizing the habitat, bringing the Pirate King and the habitat into the Persean League to justify the League having a presence in this system. Strictly speaking, that means Laisa habitat was a pirate port for quite a while. Then there was Captain Starworks. It was built originally to serve the needs of Iridani Utopia, but got modified a lot in the cycle since the gates turned off. Now this one did also get taken from Warlord Leonis, but the Persean League wasn't as interested, so it more or less changed hands back and forth between different pirate kings and leaders for most of history, since the fall of the gates. Oddly enough, the lieutenant Warlord Leonis put in charge actually managed to retain control of the place for quite some time, just under various managers over the years. And then there's Groombridge. Groombridge was also taken the same year as Captain Starworks, but Warlord Leonis put a different lieutenant in charge, one who was fantastically incompetent. He made a habit out of tossing aggrieved locals and rivals and civic leaders out of the airlock. As a direct result, he drove away a lot of talent. In fact, within 3 cycles, anyone who had marketable skills, wealth, or even basic common sense had left, abandoning the place, and the station was actively falling apart. As a direct result, the reactor was eventually breached and irradiated the heck out of the entire thing. Everything of value on Groombridge that could be picked up, put in a crate or a shuttle, and taken has been stripped out of the place, and now it's abandoned, and horribly radioactive. Now that all said, the question becomes, what happened to Leonis himself? The 14th Battle Group, that's what happened. Literally a year after he swept through the Ashara system as part of his conquest, the 14th Battle Group arrived, Admiral Melina declared him a war criminal, and when they finally caught up to him, they defeated his entire armada in about 20 minutes. This actually allowed the 14th Battle Group to claim legitimacy for freeing the system from his grip, though they never did actually manage to take the place back from other forces, with the pirates at Groombridge and Captain Starworks remaining in place, along with the Persean League at Laisa habitat. Let's see. Now, I rather suddenly ended up hostile to the Persean League because of politics, so I'm gonna repatriate a bunch of prisoners. Okay, thank goodness. That pushed things up enough that the core union that I'm technically a part of due to association with Tritachyon is no longer hostile to these guys, and we'll keep it up. Okay. Things are a lot less angry now. Let's see. They still won't let me shop here, but we don't need to. We'll open the comm directory. Talk to the local Archon. After a short wait, your connection request is accepted. Comms open, state your request. I'm looking for Skyla Carews. Oh? The Archon's eyes flick off to one side, then back to you. I don't think I've heard of her, he says, asserting a placid tone of bureaucratic impatience. You know, there's a public comm directory for that sort of thing, Captain. Do you know anything about the Galactia incident? Yes, actually, recent events in the Galactia system, right? Dangerous what the Academy got up to, and while they deserve reprimand, the Hegemony reacted with typical overreach. A note of indignation enters his speech. The Persean League filed a complaint in the Interfactional Dispute Council. Did you hear? We don't expect much to come of it, but someone has to say something, right? Why do you ask? I'm looking for Skyla Carews. She was involved. This again, the Archon's eyes flick off to one side, then back to you. Like I told you before, there's a public comm directory. This is outside the purview of my office. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Seems like he's hiding something. But with the hostility, we might not actually be able to get this done. Damn it. Okay, well, one well is dry. Let's check the other. Okay, less hospitable, less agreeable, and less easily dominated from Kaizeron, Captain Starworks was passed over by the League expansion effort and largely intentionally forgotten as relations between the League and Church stabilized. They have a long-standing unofficial arrangement with their law-abiding neighbors, which results in more trade and fewer raids and counter-raids than you'd expect. Let's see, we'll take a shuttle down. Space is dark, filled with shouts, sweats, and pulsing music. Every wall and surface is pitted and stained by rough spacers banging their mugs and laughing as a couple of pirate crews posture for a fight. You can only assume that one of the heavily augmented bouncers will spoil the fun before weapons are drawn. Gangsters and pirate captains watch the scene smugly from smoke-filled booths at the back. It's a shot in the dark, but you could try asking if anyone here knows anything about Skyla Carews. I'm willing to try. You ask around about the missing academian, buying moderately priced drinks to lubricate the flow of information. This is a pirate bar, and despite their well-known enthusiasm for free booze, pirates are loath to speak openly to anyone asking too many questions. A shady character at the bar wearing an expensive but worn-looking coat accepts your drink. They think you're the sector's dumbest undercover cop, you know. But I know you're not. She takes a long sip. A cop, that is. I saw your fleet come in, ran some queries. It's my business, you know. And what business is that? I'm guessing information. Knowing things, selling that knowledge. Then I've come to the right person. She smiles slyly. Indeed you have. Problem is, I've sold that knowledge, and my customer might take issue if I were to distribute it without respect for our, understanding of the exclusive utility of that knowledge. My customer is very important around here, if you catch my meaning. Now, if you were to approach that customer directly to work something out, you might actually come away with something useful. Doesn't that cut you out of the loop? What about your profit? She shrugs. It's long-term planning, you see. If you show up asking questions, it confirms that my customer made a wise purchase. Comes up they need to find something out, they come back to me. Long-term planning, my friend. That's the difference between those deadbeat pirate lackeys and myself. I'm going to big places. Thank you for the tip. Enjoy your drink. She gives you an ironic salute and says, "Look me up, Captain. I'll be around if you want to do business." She turns away and sips her drink. Let's see. I'm guessing the boss is the one who bought it, so we'll talk to them. I'm looking for someone called Skyla Carews. He looks you over, licks his lips, and thinks the question over for a moment. Might know someone by that name, might not. Why should I tell you? Let's talk credits. The pirate boss leans forward. You have my attention, good captain. If you could come up with, let's say, 30,000 reasons why I should help you out, it might be that I'd be so inclined. I'd be happy to accept. Hesperus Phobos says with a conspiratorial smile flashing gold teeth. Very persuasive. I might have heard something from someone. It's my business, right? Knowing who's making the moves in the Ishara system, and to who. He leans close to the comms pickup and speaks quietly. Word is the Persean League started asking a lot of questions about someone named Karuz, and that was because the hegemony started asking around first. And then just about all at once the League snitches all stopped asking about Karuz. That tells me, James, it looks like someone found who they were looking for. It also tells me they're not a real experienced operation. Leave it to the League, right? Appointing offices by influence more than ability. I'd never abide by that. Anyway, shortly after that, a unit of top pay-grade League agents fresh from Kaizeron set up shop on the Laisa habitat. Now, being a curious individual and a friend of the friendless, I was on the lookout for a League crackdown on our legitimate business operations. But it didn't come. Just the same old, same old. So what are those spies doing on Laisa? I asked myself. I paid a real professional surveillance contractor and they gave me a list of names, rented properties, and schedule of activities. Looks like they've got some fancy safe house set up. The pirate boss taps a datapad and your comms ping to alert you to an incoming file. You've bought yourself a copy of that data, my friend. I do like to keep informed. He leans back, putting on a casual act. Me, I just ask questions. Maybe you're looking for answers, maybe you'll find one. Maybe it'll teach those League goons a bit of humility. The pirate smiles broadly at this thought. Just don't forget who helped you along, right? With only one piece of evidence that Karuz is at Laisa habitat, you're not absolutely certain it would not be dismissed as merely circumstantial if you attempted to leverage it against the authorities. You need to find one more piece of corroborating evidence. Alright. Let's see. Well, we can't go any further while we're hostile to the League. We'll need to get that sorted out before anything else. What can we do to fix our reputation? Let's go to Kaizeron. With the Persean League harassing us anyway, well, we have things to talk about. And it's not too far anyway. Huh? What are they doing? Who are they fighting? Oh, pirate strike fleets. Okay, the Persean League is willing to give us their IFF codes to help out. This is good. This is very good. Laisa, you're going in, and unfortunately we can't offer much in the way of support given how much is already taken up. So I'm just gonna have you go in, wreck some shit, and move on. Ideally, try not to blow up any of the League boys. We need their reputation to go up rather than down. Gosh, it'd be so nice if we were just a little bit faster. Although from the look of it, the League boys might be in more trouble than I realized. Oh dear. Who are you firing on? Oh, that Moy. I've seen you take out strikes before, come on. Okay. Looks like one of the Persean League's eagles backed off. That's good for us. means more opportunities to do damage. And we're going to go ahead and focus on the fish kill. It's going to have the most health, it's going to be the biggest threat, so it's our best option, at least at the moment. Ah, damn it, they already got it. Keep moving to the left. That's where all the enemies are. Okay, the Eradicator's actually a threat. I gotta take that out before we move further afield. Crap, this is a bad situation. I have confidence in Laisa. I really hope that confidence ain't misplaced. Take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out. This gone as well. Back to the Atlas Mark II. The trick, I believe, is that our reputation gain is going to be based on share of damage done. So the more of this we hurt, the better. What on earth is that thing? Atlas BRV. Due to isolation and poor access, the Brighton Federation is forced to use existing and easily accessible scrap to manufacture new vessels, tagged as Brighton Repurposed Vessel, BRV. Reconstructed from spare derelict parts and then modified along pirate-based lines, this ship has severe performance deficiencies. The reconstruction, however, has introduced a more missile-focused layout, and the use of easily acquired scrap makes the ship easier to maintain. Oh. So they adjusted it kind of like the pirates, but less stupid and suicidal. Well, good for them. I knew Brighton used a lot of repurposed ships, but I didn't realize that included the Atlas. Get her. You could take out an Atlas Mark II solo. I know you can. I think you can take out 2 Atlas Mark II solo. Hope so anyway. Okay, well, the kite being destroyed doesn't hurt anything, so there's that. Out. Oh man, this is proving more stressful than anticipated. Mainly because I didn't have the ability to send in supports. And while the Paragon is dangerous, it does typically need support to avoid getting blown out of the sky by overwhelming smaller ships. Luckily we're fighting the pirates, and the pirates are dumb as fuck. The sky is just choked with debris. It's actually making it hard to shoot these guys. Damn. Doesn't look like there's much left. Guess we'll join in going and chasing down that one poor enforcer. Poor commander probably doesn't realize what's about to happen. Wonder if we'll get there before or after it gets blown up. Looks like before from the way things are going. Oh my god. They got the apogee too. Dang, the League boys are no slouches today, that's for sure. Anything at all left? Nope, doesn't appear so. Whew. Oh, they're going in for a pursuit too. Well, I'll join in. And it's pretty much all service ships. Supply and fuel carriers, so I got them on full assault, we'll let them go wild. Oh, that's right. I can go ahead and bring in some of my small frigates from the side. That should hopefully slow them down, force them to put their shields up and all. Oh, this is a slaughter for these guys. Dang, even the wolves are getting some action. And not a thing got away. Dang. All of that and we improved our reputation by one? Fair enough. Now we also got a fair number of bounties, and we did take a prisoner there, so I suppose that works. Also caused a pirate raid targeting the system to fail. Persian League Fleet Identification System has flagged you as an involved party in suspicious and/or criminal activity. You are denied permission to trade in League world markets, and patrol fleets will treat you as a potential threat, though they do not have a shoot-on-sight order from Fleet Command. Yet. Let's go in here, we'll see if we can maybe make some friends. Special functions. We have a prisoner we can repatriate. Let's see, is that enough? No. I'd like to talk about joining the Persean League. I see. He puts his hands together, considering his next words. There is an official process. Find a sponsor, send a delegation to meet the League Council, a question period, a vote. His eyes turn to you now, somehow meeting yours through the comms. But what you're going to want to do is talk to Reynard Hannon. Nothing will move through the League Council unless the Gens Hannon allows it. His eyes turn away again, and he gives a small shrug. Welcome to Kaizeron. Fair enough. Let's talk to Reynard. The comm connects instantly, forwarding your link to a holding pattern. After a minute, an excruciatingly perfect-looking secretary answers. Offices of Gens Hannon. How may I assist you? I have business with Reynard Hannon. Of course, James Bleak. One moment, please. The secretary switches your link back to a holding pattern, the crest of the office of Prime Demarchon entwined with that of Gens Hannon. Wait. I'm sorry, but the Prime Demarchon is unavailable. Would you like to leave a message? I would like to speak with the Prime Demarchon about joining the Persean League. Wonderful. I'll let the Prime Demarchon know as soon as he is available. I'd also like to offer the sale of Vulpoids for use on Kaizeron. Fantastic. I'll inform the Prime Demarchon as soon as he's free. Alright, so with the Persean League unwilling to talk at the moment, our current task of dealing with Karuz and, of course, trying to get the Persean League off our backs, it's not happening. So we're going to take a break from that. Now, for the moment, I do have another problem to sort out. It looks like for some reason the terms of the contract to supply Vulpoids to Fickenhild isn't going through. And looking at Navarro... yep. The supply of transplantonics has been cut off, so the Vulpoid biofacility can only make organs. Boy, that's a really weird thing to have to say out loud. Looks like we're dealing with some piracy from someone. I would guess probably the Commerce Raiders from Tritachyon. Fortunately, I have a solution for that. See, in my cargo storage at Navarro, we have 1,800 units of transplantonics just waiting for use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over, I'm going to go ahead and see about blowing up those Commerce Raiders. I'm going to put all of my stored transplantonics into the shared stockpile, and I'll give the order to use stockpiled goods until trade is restored. Resolves the problem for me. And from there we can decide what to do next. This is always the trick with this sort of thing. You can't be sure there won't be interruptions. But at the very least I can do something about it, which is better than the usual for this sort of thing. We'll avoid flying directly into the hyperspace storms. Oh, while I'm moving. Operatives. We've had this guy working on Gilead, making sure the Ludic Church doesn't completely lose their shit. I think I'm actually going to have him move to the Laisa habitat and start working on getting the Persean League to not hate me as much. I'm contemplating whether or not it's time to finally ditch Tritachyon. It was going to happen at some point. My alliance with them was more convenience for me than anything else. I mean, I've got my 2 paragons, and I can always go hunt down a bounty for Tritachyon to get more. Or buy one from Prism, but, you know, that's way more expensive. Yep, hostiles in the system, so that's gonna be... Huh, just regular pirates. Interesting. Well, let's get in there and sort this out. Looks like we'll need ships prioritizing speed on this one, so that's the fleet we're going to go with. Now, the Legion's not as fast as the Bedlam, but it's still pretty dang fast for a ship that size. Battle cruisers do move, and that's helpful. Now, we are alongside a Persean detachment, and they don't hate me enough to deny my help on this one, so maybe this will get us back in their good graces a little bit. And every little bit helps, I'll say that. There's the Bedlam doing what I want it to do. And now it's not using the auto pulse laser anymore, and I genuinely do not know why. I'm thinking maybe I have to go in and adjust the weapon groups. I don't know, maybe it's off on its own and so it's not getting used when the main weapons are being fired. I genuinely could not tell you. But regardless, something to handle. Okay, is there a reason you ran directly into that? Oh, okay. I suppose projectiles work. Get the shrike. And what do we have left? Looks like one enforcer. Oh, pardon me, one eradicator. You'd think I'd know these names by now. Oh god, it's got a pun name and everything. Now, the Persean League may get to it before we do, but we'll at least try and help and not end the battle right now. Never stood a chance. And they're pursuing the retreating pirates. May as well go in. Not like it's gonna cost me anything. And we'll put that on full assault, because this is a mop-up operation. There's not much in the way of danger to us. And we're down to just the one pressure. And there we go. Don't need to recover any ships. 1 point of relations with the Persean League. Definitely doesn't hurt. I'm kind of surprised. I would have assumed it would be the Commerce Raiders out here making trouble, given Tritachion's still got us on their shit list. Let's see. Storage. Transplutonics. Put that into the resource stockpile. Manage colony. Use stockpile during shortages. And why are you not using it? That's just plain weird.
Oh.
Ah, well. You know, mango nuts came with the Vulpoids. I wonder if there's any special interactions there. And there was the option to give Laisa an alpha core. I trust Laisa. Still not sure it's a great idea, but we'll see what happens. Oh, we also have luxury and domestic goods shortages. I'm just going to dump those in here. I haven't used them yet. I'm probably not going to end up using them. Again, why are you not using it? Oh well. Actually, with this... Oh, yeah, that works. There we go. Just had to put an alpha-level AI core in charge of the place. Let's see. Yes. Terms of the contract are now being met. Okay, that's one less thing to worry about. Let's see. Colony threats. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, we got ages before we have to worry about the hegemony taking notice of the fact that we're illegally using AI cores in our colony. It'll be a while. Tritachyon, still being a pain in my ass. Oh, there's going to be a shake-up with the Ludic Church in the near future. I'll have to keep an eye on that, that's for sure. Do I have any supplies in here? No, I don't. Oh no, I don't need that many. But we will pull some from the stockpile. Along with fuel. You know, that brings to mind some interesting logistics questions. I really don't want to imagine what it's like for the guy who has to maintain the antimatter fuel storage warehouse. That's gotta be really stressful. I hope we're paying him well. Okay. Laisa. I have a gift for you. Mango nut.
Oh no, please don't even mention those to me. I still can't believe they're still around. I thought I was free of them centuries ago.
Why? What's wrong? Laisa looks questioningly at you.
Seriously? Have you seen the theobromine content in those things? It's like an entire box of chocolate in a single fruit.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Theobromine is a powerful addictive narcotic for Vulpoids, including perfectos like myself. In fact, I think I actually take it harder than the dummies do. They're used to not using their brains.
Ah, I think I see the issue.
Yeah, just one of those things will turn me into a drunken mess. It's not that they're not tasty, or that it doesn't feel really, really good.
She sighs wistfully.
But no, best not.
You know, I do have the whole tree. There's no risk of shortage. I'm being a bad influence right now.
That's true. You do have loads of them. No chance I'd be going hungry, just...
She deliberates for a moment, expression torn between reluctance and hunger.
Alright, here's how we'll do it.
She says decisively.
4 mango nuts all at once. No sense in doing it halfway. I'll be stupidly begging for more the moment I finish the first one anyway. And I want you to keep an eye on me, okay? I'm going to be loopy, uncoordinated, and very gushy. I don't want anyone else seeing me like that.
Hold on, what am I getting out of this?
Well, first of all, you're the one who brought this up in the first place, so you get to follow through on that. But, well, the mango nuts will make me pretty sappy, so I'd probably say lots of nice things about you, and maybe try to cuddle and stuff like that. That I wouldn't do normally.
In other words, the lack of inhibition will make her more transparent about her natural feelings. Alright, let's do this. She stares at the mango nuts for a moment, hesitating before she collects herself. In the next moment, the fruit disappears. The sheer speed at which she devours them reflects a significant past experience, undiluted by their centuries of absence. The mango nuts are gone, and so quickly that she is still briefly sober. Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I shouldn't have eaten them so fast, but they're just...
She sighs happily.
So good. This is going to hit fast now, so I hope you're ready.
As the words leave her mouth, her eyes grow impossibly wide, pupils overpowering the iris like a black hole devouring its accretion disk. She wobbles, staggers, and then lurches toward you, half leaping and half falling into your arms.
Whoa. This is better than I can thought.
Her body is flopping like an empty spacesuit, but she musters the strength to lift her arm and clumsily caress your face.
You look so good. Your face is pretty. I love you.
We'll carry her somewhere to rest. You heave her up and carry her towards the bed. You find yourself forced to move at an angle to avoid stepping on her tail, which is dragging limply along the floor. She makes an attempt to purse her lips at you, but lacks the coordination. Unable to properly kiss you, she instead taps her nose against your cheek, cooing happily as she does. Let's try to set her down, give her some dignity. You lower her onto the bed as she giggles happily. As you attempt to let go of her, though, she cries,
No! Stay! Please! Stay!
Oh, that face. Oh, I can't say no to that. With how much she's managed to wrap herself around you, it's not possible to simply lie next to her. Instead, you simply find an orientation where you won't squish her and lay down. Laisa continues to happily nuzzle up against you, cooing with delight and hiccuping out drunken compliments. As far as you can glean from her fuller sentences, you're the most amazing person in the universe and she's the happiest she's ever been in her life. Oh. Wow. I feel really good about myself right now. Her speech grows slower and drowsier as she slowly tires herself out. The babbling becomes murmuring, becomes sighing, becomes snoring. She's completely asleep, still tightly snuggled up against you. You contemplate your own surroundings as sleep brushes the edges of your own consciousness. You're swaddled with warm, furry limbs, blanketed by a large, incredibly fluffy tail, and locked in an embrace of undiluted affection. You could extricate yourself without much physical difficulty, but you know without trying that no person in the sector would have the willpower. Instead, you hug Laisa a little tighter, earning a smile on her sleeping face before you close your eyes as well. You awake to find yourself in much the same position, luxuriantly warm and comfortable in Laisa's arms as she quietly sleeps. Much as you'd like the moment to last forever, your stirring must have prompted her to wake up as well. She adjusts, shimmying up so she can meet your gaze without having to release her grip just yet. Good morning.
Good morning.
No further words are exchanged. Laisa is content to just stare into your eyes, a tender smile on her face. In a flash, she realizes she's forgotten her superior superintelligence persona. You see her face adjust as she swallows the smile, replacing it with the slightly smug grin you're more accustomed to. She unwraps her arms from you and leans on them as she attempts to deflect the moment.
Thank you for accompanying me. That was quite nice of you. It made for a quite positive experience.
Positive experience, you say?
Yeah, positive. The gushing was a little embarrassing, looking back, but I did expect as much. If anything, it was less embarrassing than I remembered from before the collapse, so thank you for your part in that. I'd love to do this again sometime.
Agree and get up. Now, I have a very particular gift for you. Do not squander this. Do not turn on me. Laisa gasps in astonishment.
An alpha core? You're pulling my tail, right?
She approaches the case and gasps again as she's drawn closer.
It is. It really is. I can feel it in there.
You can feel it?
The magnetic field. It's slight, but I can feel it against my fur. Unmistakable, just as I remember from the Citadel.
Slowly, carefully, she opens the case. The pulsing glow of the core reflects in her eyes, sparkling with the light of their two alien intelligences. Quickly, she closes the lid again. She instinctively glances behind herself, and you can't help but do the same in response. You both realize the gravity of this exchange.
I won't tell a soul about this, Captain. Not for anything. Thank you for your trust and the opportunity.
I'll nod affirmatively. Laisa has the case transferred to another location. Exactly where, you do not know. All the better, should you ever need to deny knowledge of it. Well, that's that. And with that done, what are we doing next? I've got the people, I've got the supplies. I should grab some more transplutonics. Do not want to end up short of those. 40 should be more than enough, but good to have extra. And since I put it there, they won't be haranguing me about it. Okay. And what we're gonna do... Where was the markers? There. We're gonna go settle that Terran-eccentric world. Yaw. What do you want? Alright, fine, inspect me, whatever. I don't care. As soon as I can talk with your leader, I'm gonna go ahead and see about dealing with you people for good. And I don't mean in the explodey way, I mean in the other way. Oh, hey, and our operative just arrived. Let's go ahead and set him on raising relations. Cost 60,000 credits? Fine. Whatever. I make a third more than that in a month. Persean League Enforcer's my ass. Alright, it's gonna be a fairly long drive, so I'm gonna meet you guys when we get to that Terran world. Alright, arriving in the Lugo Valos system. My favorite name, but workable. And while we're at it, what else was in here? Barren world, nothing of note. Though, those planets lack atmospheres. Could be a good place to put down refining, but we'll see what comes of that. Okay. Establish a colony. It's going to take 1,000 people, 100 heavy machinery, 200 supplies. What do we want to call you? I think I'm going to go with Kinza. I believe that word means treasure. And given the state of this place, treasure indeed. Aside from the poor light which is getting countered by the solar array, this is quite possibly one of the best planets that we could possibly have found as far as living conditions go. Let's see... Huh. No stable point. We can fix that eventually. Let's see... We'll go ahead and loot this mining station. Ooh, beta core. Soil nanites. No shoot. Oh, that is just perfect for this location. Soil nanites. Design type Iridani Utopia. Oh, hey, it's one of Laisa's cousins. Enables soil enrichment and recovery at a rate far beyond that at which unaided natural processes perform. Domain Nanite Safety Regulation 4324, subsection 81, prohibits use on worlds with transplutonic ore and volatiles deposits, and unfortunately the built-in failsafe appears to be functional. So we can't put it on any planet that has transplutonics or volatiles, but luckily I have one right here that has neither. And a Fullerant spool too. Oh, this could not be better. Let's see. That'll increase accessibility by 30%. And well, it's going to be a bit before the soil is ready for cultivation. So we're going to go ahead and leave the soil nanites here. Along with this beta and gamma core, we don't need them on hand, and it'd probably be best not to be carrying those around right now. And thus it begins. And while we're at it, let's go meet the neighbors. It looks like we've got 2 colonized systems nearby. Am I hostile to Hazard Mining Incorporated? No, we're on good terms with them. Alright, jumping into the Gamma Wande system. I haven't surveyed this one, but it says that there should be an inhabited planet here, I think. Unless I'm horribly misreading the prompt. Well, that's weird. I wonder why the name was highlighted if... Well, regardless, good to survey the place. Know the neighborhood and all. Oh, got the signal. Another perfecto Vulpoid. Well, that's good timing. Another colony needs an administrator after all. We'll head back and deal with that as soon as we finish dealing with the neighbors and figuring out what their deal is. Still strikes me as so bizarre that this system had its name highlighted when there's nobody here. Alright, so summing it up for Gamma Wande, we have a toxic world, rocky metallic, volcanic, gas giant, rocky ice world, and a barren world. Nothing of particular note aside from some ruins on the barren world, but it was standard supplies, nothing noteworthy. And it looks like Hazard Mining Incorporated has set up in the next system over on a planet called Occultus, which is a jungle world, so we'll have a look at that. Oh, hey, Remnant Patrol. God, it's nice being on good terms with the Remnants and not having to worry about that. Alright, let's see. A farming and mining world with poor farmland and little in the way of resources. So basically the knockoff of what I'm doing next door. We're gonna not tell them about that. Anything I want or need? Hey, what do you guys pay me? Ooh, you'll pay pretty high price for the Volturnian lobster. Scan data. Get rid of some stuff I don't need. Let's see, doesn't look like anything of terrible interest at the bar. Alright. With the neighbors met, some fun interactions with Laisa, and a fair bit taken care of, I think I'm going to call this one here. We'll pick up from here next time, and we'll have a look at how our colonies are doing. In particular, Kinza should be finished with farming fairly soon, so I can fly over there and just wait it out and install those soil nanites.